Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hit the like buttons, get your comments in below, and of course, download the One Football app right now. Big news today as the season is drawing to a close. The club start to really delve into their work for the summer to improve and to move forward, to maintain, to become better next year. We're looking at Moises Caicedo and his potential move to Arsenal Football Club. An exclusive interview with his agent, and Sky Sports have revealed that if Arsenal bid the same 70 million they did in January, it will be a done deal. We're also going to look at Kulusevski. He wants big changes at Spurs as a decision around him looms, and reports today suggest that talks about him remaining at Tottenham in the long term have stalled. So could Man United, could Arsenal, could Newcastle, could another big Premier League team step in and take this brilliant player, by the way, away from Tottenham? And we will be focusing on Chelsea with Mauricio Pochettino due in imminently at Chelsea, expected to make a decision that will keep Lukaku at the club and give him a chance of redemption. As I say, today's show is sponsored by One Football. Download their app now. Keep these shows going. Keep these updates coming by helping us with our sponsors, by downloading and using their app. It's free of charge. The best one-stop shop for news on planet Earth. Now, I want to start with the news surrounding Moises Caicedo. This report here on One Football today says here that according to Sky Sports, Moises Caicedo's move to Arsenal is a done deal if the Gunners return with a proposal of over 70 million, which they were previously willing to pay for the Ecuadorian. Mikel Arteta strongly wanted Caicedo to join his team during the winter, but the deal could not be reached. Caicedo, who has tried to force the move to Arsenal, ended up staying at the Amex Stadium for the rest of the season, passing up a huge transfer opportunity. There's also been an exclusive interview with his agent via the Arsenal Informer, where they have claimed that there are no special clauses to get him out this summer. David Ornstein did state there was one. The agent has said that is not the case. The player wants Champions League football, and a move to Arsenal is desirable for the individual. So this is one of those deals that I look at and think to myself, can they get Caicedo and Declan Rice? Without a couple of big sales, maybe not. But I know there are a lot of Gooners out there that prefer the deal for Moises Caicedo. Potentially 20, 30, 40, 50 million pounds cheaper than that of Declan Rice. And there are a lot of people out there that believe this is a better deal. This is a better player. And what's interesting, we've had a few transfers in recent years, and one that stands out to me is Basuma. Everybody wanted him last summer. He was seen as a star. A lot of people wanted Calvin Phillips. Both made big moves, and it didn't quite work out. I remember Arsenal fans very angry that Spurs have got Basuma and not them. Didn't work out. Maybe they'll come good year two, who knows? But could something be similar and true here with Declan Rice? Is Declan Rice slightly overpriced? Will he live up to the expectation, or will maybe the second choice option be better? Will the second choice option be better for Arsenal in this circumstance? Now, you all know my view. I rate them both, Rice and Caicedo, very, very highly. But at 70 million pounds, could the extra 30, 40, 50 million on Declan Rice be better spent elsewhere? I have seen a lot of Arsenal fans talk about buying both, which would be a combined total probably of around 160, 170 million pounds, which is huge. But what a midfield Arsenal would have with the two of them. But I want to know how you see it going. Personally, I feel like they're only going to get one of them. But do any of you see that two could be an option? That level of outlay, Champions League money, improving that core to go for the title again next year, maybe with an additional player up front. Could that be the way Arsenal move forward next year? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings in the comments section below. We also have to talk here about Dejan Kulusevski. I think he's been a brilliant signing for Tottenham. But of course, he isn't a permanent fixture as of now. Now, according to some reports coming from the continent this afternoon, it is reported that talks between Dejan Lovren and Tottenham have stalled. It says here, Kulusevski hoped to stay at Tottenham, who are now reflecting if they should pay the full price, 35 million, for the player. This is coupled with news in and on the app of OneFootball, so download it and look at it. It says Dejan Lovren wants to see a big shake-up in Tottenham's dressing room this summer, according to close friends and sources of the Swedish winger. It says here he's one of his former teammates has stated that Kulusevski believes the attitude issues have been behind the struggling squad, and that improving the quality of player and the mentality of player is what will see him want to stay at the club in a more longer-term capacity. So what I find really interesting is you're kind of getting news stories that the player is unsure about his future, but the club are also unsure as well. Now, one of the two they could both be true, or one of the two could be true, and then the other one is going to play off against that they'll play off against each other because PR is PR in football. But this is something Tottenham have got to resolve either way very quickly. This is a player who, from a statistical standpoint, has fallen off a little bit of late. Especially his first 6 months at the club, were very, very good from an output point of view. There is no denying that whatsoever. This season just gone hasn't been anywhere near as good. Just 2 goals and 6 assists, but a very dangerous player. He influences game. So it isn't just the goals and the assists. They need to improve. They need to get better. But I do feel that he has kind of waned and fallen away at the same time that Tottenham have. I do believe there's a correlation there. At 30 to 35 million, is this player worth a punt for other clubs? Remember, last year in the Premier League, 18 games, he got 8 assists and 5 goals. Much better outputs. Is that a player that you think a Man United or a Newcastle or an Arsenal could rectify? Or are Tottenham having reservations because he wasn't quite as good as everybody thought he was? Is one of the reasons why Spurs have fallen off because actually he wasn't able to maintain what he did in that first 6 months. It's a question as opposed to a statement, so Spurs fans don't shoot at me. Personally, I'd love Man United to go in and take this guy away. At 35 million euros in this day and age for a young, strong, quick player who can use his left, can use his right. I think there's far more goals and assists in this individual than this season demonstrates. He's 23 years of age, or just turned 23, still relatively young. I don't understand why Tottenham don't want to keep him if those stories are true. They have to get it tied down. And equally, I do understand his point of view, though. We're not going to improve this squad. If we're not going to invest, why would I want to stay? This man doesn't want to make the same mistakes that Son and Kane and the like, Toby, Oliveira, all these guys that just spent too long. Excuse me. He's got to do what Kyle Walker did. Get out when your stock's high. Go to a club that can win you trophies. Go to a club that will help you create a legacy. Now, this guy's already got, he's an Italian Cup winner, an Italian Super Cup winner. He's already won some trophies in his career. He'll want to win more. But how do you see this going, and how badly could this impact Tottenham if it goes the wrong way? Mauricio Pochettino, the report here on OneFootball says, could welcome Romelu Lukaku back to the Chelsea squad due to the striker's unfinished business at the club. Now, we spoke about this at large last night after the Inter Milan, AC Milan semi-final first leg, and Chelsea fans didn't want it. They rejected this idea. They do not want him back. They want him nowhere near Chelsea Football Club. But what do you think and feel about this? Is that the right decision? Is that the correct thing for Chelsea to do? Can they afford this summer with needing a new midfielder? Can they afford a prolific number 9? Is there one of Ivan Toney, or would they go for an Ollie Watkins, or someone of that level? Or do you give another chance to Lukaku with new owners, with a new manager, a clean slate, to say we can build a team that will produce the chances for you to score? With Nkunku coming in, with João Felix potentially staying, there's going to be a lot of creativity. But is there room for Lukaku? Because these stories don't want to go away. These stories do not want to go away. Whether it's pundits promoting it or transfer journalists talking about it, it appears that Poch is open to giving Lukaku the opportunity to be his main number 9. Now, I personally think it's all about the available money in the market. So if Chelsea can do a deal for Harry Kane, if Chelsea could do a deal for an Ivan Toney, if his potential ban for gambling breaches isn't too long, I believe they'll look to sell this man. But equally with Lukaku, his stock is as low as it's probably ever been. Awful season for all intents and purposes at Inter Milan. Can't get into their first team. Huge wages. This is a difficult thing. This is a difficult situation for Chelsea to be in from a financial standpoint. They need to start recouping some money for their players that are leaving because of the volume of outlay. They need that for FFP. So could there be a world where, without being able to sign an outright world-class superstar, the best option is to give Lukaku his quote-unquote third chance at Chelsea to prove himself? Or is his behavior, attitude, and general kind of shenanigans in his in the previous term under Tuchel just one step too far for Chelsea fans? I want your views and I want your opinions on this, people, in the comment section below. Make sure like buttons have been smashed before you leave. And of course, download OneFootball now or re-download it if you've used it in the past. With the transfer window coming, it's the best place to be to aggregate all your news together. I don't really promote a lot of apps and a lot of other sports websites. This is one of the only ones I would ever do it for because they are genuinely sensational. So get that done now, people. But from me, thank you very much. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again.